What if your biggest failure is not failing, but stopping too early? Right now, somewhere in your life, you are closer to success than ever before, but you can't see it because success doesn't arrive loudly. It arrives silently after hundreds of invisible efforts. And most people, they walk away just before everything changes. Once, in a quiet village nestled between dusty hills and fading farmlands, there lived a young man named Arin. Arin wasn't the strongest. He wasn't the smartest. But he had something quiet inside him, a belief that one day he would do something meaningful. His father worked long hours in the fields, his hands rough from years of labor. His mother carefully managed the household, stretching every rupee to make ends meet. And Arin carried a silent promise in his heart. One day, I'll make it worth it. But life doesn't always reward effort the way we expect. As he grew older, Arin began trying to change his life. He left the village for the nearby town. He applied for jobs, learned new skills, tried different paths. Each time, he started with hope, and each time, he returned with disappointment. Rejection became familiar. Doors stayed closed, and slowly, his belief began to fade. When he came back to the village, people asked the same question. Anything worked out? He would force a smile and say, not yet. But inside, he felt something breaking. His friends started settling into simple routines, farming, small work, daily survival. Life moved forward for them. But Arin felt stuck between two worlds. Too big for the village, too lost for the world outside. At home, conversations became quieter. His father stopped asking about his plans. His mother spoke gently, trying to comfort him. It's okay. Things take time. But Arin heard something else. Maybe you're not meant for anything more. One night, sitting outside his house, under a sky full of silent stars, Arin looked at his hands and wondered, what if I try my whole life and nothing changes? The worst kind of exhaustion is not physical. It's when your mind stops expecting things to get better. The next day, Arin walked without purpose, not searching, not thinking, just escaping. Then he heard it. Tap, tap, tap. A slow, consistent rhythm. Not loud, but impossible to ignore. The sound led Arin to a quiet, forgotten workshop. He hesitated at the entrance, not because he was afraid, but because something about that place felt different. Inside, time seemed slower. Dust floated gently in the air. Sunlight entered into the churned beams, and in the middle of it all stood a sculptor. He wasn't rushing. He wasn't frustrated. He wasn't even looking for results. He was simply present. Tap, tap, tap. Arin stepped closer. The sculptor didn't look at him, didn't ask who he was, didn't question why he was there. Arin stood there longer than he expected, watching, waiting. But something felt strange. Nothing was happening. No cracks, no shape, no progress. Minutes passed, then an hour. Frustration grew inside him. Arin, irritated, asked, "Why are you doing this?" No answer. "Can't you see? It's not changing," Sculptor asked. "Are you sure?" Arin scoffed. I've been watching this whole time. The sculptor finally stopped. He stepped closer to the stone, ran his hand across its surface and asked, "When you look at this, what do you see?" Arin said, "A rock, nothing else." Sculptor smiles gently and said, "That's because you're only seeing the outside. The sculpture is already inside." Arin frowned. "That doesn't make sense." The sculptor smiled faintly. "Because you're looking for results, not transformation. Transformation is quiet." He picked up the chisel again. Every strike, tap, removes something unnecessary. He looked at Arin. "Not just from the stone, but from you. Tap doubt. Tap the need to prove yourself. Tap the fear of being behind. Tap the belief that nothing is happening." He paused, then said slowly, "And the most dangerous one, tap quitting before it matters." Arin felt something shift. These weren't just words, they were truths he had been avoiding. Arin watches closely now, not impatient, curious. Tap, 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 then crack! Stone splits suddenly. A large piece falls. Dust fills the air. Light hits a hidden shape. Then another piece breaks. And another. Within moments, a form begins to emerge. Elegant, alive, beautiful, Arin whispers. It changed instantly. Sculptor turns, eyes steady. It didn't. You just noticed it now. The change was happening with every single strike. The first strike mattered. The 20th mattered. The 100th mattered. They were all preparing this moment. Most people leave before this moment arrives. Something shifted inside Arin. Not motivation, not excitement, understanding, or the first time his past made sense. His failures weren't proof that he couldn't succeed. They were proof that he hadn't stopped trying. He wasn't broken. He wasn't behind. He wasn't lost. He was unfinished. And unfinished means something is still being shaped. Nothing changed immediately. Still rejections. Still slow days. Still doubt. But one thing was different. He didn't stop. Even when results were invisible. Even when it felt pointless. Even when no one noticed. Because now he knew the masterpiece is not built in one moment. It is revealed over time. And one day, his life changed. Not suddenly, not magically, but inevitably. Because he stayed long enough for the breakthrough to happen. If you feel stuck right now, good. It means something inside you is still being shaped. Don't stop. Don't rush. Don't quit. Because what you're becoming is already within you. Just one more strike. Some stories don't end when they're told. They stay with you until you become them. Until the next story keep going.